Hey guys, Nick's Book Nook here. So I finished up Older finally by Miss Jennifer Hartmann over the weekend, and I've got some thoughts, so let's talk about it. For those of you who aren't familiar, this story centers around the main character of Hallie, who ends up falling in love with her best friend's father, Reed. Hallie meets him when she's 17. They don't actually get together until she's legal, so we got that going for us. But she does initially lie to her about her age to him when they meet at a party, and she actually meets him before she even knows who he is. So she doesn't like intentionally seek him out. But all in all, one thing leads to another. They end up falling for each other. Hallie comes from an abusive family. She actually ends up leaving her parents and going to live with her best friend Tara and her mom Whitney, who is separated from the dad, by the way. So again, we got that going for us. One thing that really stuck out for me in this book was that it takes place in the 90s, and I never really understood why that was. Like, there was no real reason that the 90s played such a role, and there was a lot of mention of certain music from the 90s, but it kind of got repetitive over a while. Like, if we're going to talk about a time period that had music as good as the 90s, I want to hear a lot of different music. I want to hear a lot of different callbacks and references. And I felt like we really stuck with Wonderwall and their one album, and we just kept repeating it throughout. And I don't know, to me, it kind of got a little bit redundant in that sense. That was just one little, like, weird thing for me. And the other thing that kind of bothered me about this is once we reach the climax in the novel, spoilers ahead, so if you haven't read it yet, maybe turn this off. When Tara finds out about Hallie and Reed and the fact that they've been lying to her for, at this point, like 2 years' time, she immediately goes and just blames her father, not her friend. Not saying don't blame your father, but I do find it odd that we only blamed him and not your friend. I said this in one of my other videos, but allow me to elaborate on that, because for me, I'm not saying that both of them weren't wrong, and I'm not saying that him as an older adult shouldn't hold more of the responsibility, but she was so quick to immediately just turn around and say, my dad groomed you. And it just seemed very odd to me after all that Tara and her mother had done to her, and the fact that Hallie continuously lied to her for years. I found that a little bit strange. I also will say this was very different from some of the other Jennifer Hartmann books that I've read. I've done Still Beating, Lotus, The Stars Are on Our Side, all of which contained really, really dark themes. This was definitely more taboo, not quite as dark, other than the fact that Hallie does come from a severely abusive home. And I also did not really like how there was no finale or like big climax moment for that. The fact that she dealt with abuse, other than Reed finally confronting her father, but that wasn't the end of the book. I feel like I wanted more. I wanted something to happen, some sort of confrontation between her and her mom, or her and her dad. And in the end of the book, when she's moving away prior to the epilogue, she does like drive by the house and makes a comment, and like she's like, I'm finally ready to go. So I get it. I just wanted a little bit more from that. All in all, I did really enjoy this one. Definitely still recommend reading it. I gave it 4 stars. There was just a couple little things that I would have changed about it, but I think I could say that about any novel, to be honest with you. Really, really love Jennifer Hartmann. I think she's awesome. I love all of her ideas, and I love her writing style. I really, really enjoyed the writing style of this. So if you've read it, comment your thoughts below, and if you haven't, comment what you are currently reading. Thanks, guys.